Will MASH get expelled? Will his journey to become a magic visionary end here? Stay tuned and find out.
謝るのはお前の方。そんなことしたら退学に。重要？それ。マッシュ君。あれ。やっぱまずいかも。やってしまったかもしれない。
Hello and welcome back to another video on the VikingGnomeAnime channel. Today we are reviewing the third episode of MASHLE, Magic and Muscles. And this show is so good! God damn. There are so many things to like about this show. There really are. The humor, the action, just like the joy you get and smirk you get from just watching it through, and smiling and laughing to yourself every step of the way. And in this episode, I swear to God, I even spit out my coffee in one section. I just couldn't help myself. So yeah, this one is looking quite good, I have to say. Now, to quickly look over the episode plot, we have MASH, continuing on from the second episode, just got into magic school, and this episode basically just covers him having an altercation with the Draco Malfoy, or Lloyd, as he's called in this anime, of the show, and he ends up basically just beating him to a pulp. Same with the vice principal. So basically the episode just covers the altercation between these two, and the eventual victory of MASH per se, where the principal saves him from being expelled. And that's it. That's like a very basic level of it. But the show itself is just doing so well at so many things. I really just keep loving it. Like, even at the extreme start of the episode, you have MASH asking Finn, his roommate, it's like, hey, can I borrow a broom for the class today? Because I sort of brought a burdock root with me, thinking it was a broom. And then of course you get the reaction from Finn, being like, what? You thought a burdock root was a broom? How? What? But yeah, that's just the sort of humor you get a lot in this anime, and I really appreciate it. I think it's really fun and really entertaining, so I do quite like those scenes that we get a lot of, thankfully. The antagonist of this episode, as I mentioned, is this blonde Lloyd guy we get to meet. He's basically the son of a high-ranking magic bureau person, so he has a lot of power and influence, and he has a close relationship with the vice principal, or his family does, so he basically gets students expelled from the school if they annoy him or get on his bad side. Which is exactly what MASH does, because of course he does, being clueless and pure muscle as he is. We do see MASH basically, as I said, beat him to a pulp though, later in the episode, and we get like a nice sort of justice for Finn and all the other people that he has abused in the past. So that was, quite an enjoyable thing to see, I have to say. One thing I keep loving about this anime so far is that it can seamlessly switch between humor and action and back to humor without breaking a sweat. And every time, it seems to switch between these sequences and themes really easily and seamlessly. There is never a point where I've thought, okay, that was sort of forced, okay, that was sort of not a good fit. Every time, it has just flowed very well, flowed perfectly, almost, I have to say. And you don't feel like anything is out of place, you don't feel like anything is not where it should be. And that is a very good sign, and a very quality stamp of approval that they are able to do that. For example, in this episode, immediately when the action music comes on, you immediately switch from more of a humoristic sort of feel to being, okay, things are going down. We might get some like heavy action right now, and I'm completely into it immediately. And then at the same time, a few seconds later, we get like a very funny humoristic moment, and you completely switch mindsets again to like, oh, I'm smirking now, I'm laughing again now. And that is just, as I said, something this anime does so well so far, better than most others I have seen in a long time, which is one of the reasons I am liking it, well, loving it as much as I am right now. One specific moment in this episode I thought was just so brutal was when the vice principal basically threatened to kick Mash out of school, basically, for going against the Lloyd blonde guy, and also basically kicking the vice principal in the face. But Mash just totally casually says, and I quote, "No matter if you kick me out, or no matter, if you want to kick me out, I can bury you at any time. Even if you throw me in prison, cut my body in half, I will still crawl over and bury you." It's like, what the? That is, just on the face of it, that sentence is extremely brutal and raw. It's like, okay, Mash, relax, hold on here. That is some intense stuff right there. This was, of course, in relation to the vice principal threatening to expel him, and then Mash basically just digging a hole in the ground and putting the vice principal in it, showing that, hey, you might have power to expel me, but I have the power to actually just bury you, literally. It's like, goddamn. Those sort of moments as well, like, they hit really well, and even though they play it more for like kicks and laughs in this episode, like, that was like brutal. Like, they didn't even mean for it to be brutal, I suppose, but goddamn, that was a beautiful, great moment to see. It's very satisfying to see Mash sort of being as badass as he was in that moment. And just in general, him being so aloof and detached also just makes him really based in a lot of moments throughout the episodes. And at the end of the episode, of course, as I said, the vice principal and Lloyd are defeated, per se, and Mash is not expelled because the principal sort of intervenes, and the principal tells Mash in this one-on-one they have that he thinks that the world needs more people like Mash, and he isn't happy with the world order, so to speak, as it is now, and he wants to change it for the better. And that is basically, he thinks Mash might be the key to changing the world, at least partly, towards a better future, with him at the center, or something along those lines. It does also somewhat foreshadow that Mash will have something he will have to overcome. But we don't know quite what that is yet. I'm sure we'll find out, and I'm sure it will be hilarious. Speaking of hilarious, I was almost dying laughing at the end of the episode when the other musclehead, maybe even more of a musclehead than Mash, basically forces Mash to join the magic football thing, Quidditch, basically, in the school, because Mash incidentally sets a world record in broom flying in the class he had earlier in the episode, even though, of course, he didn't actually use magic, but still, they thought he had a world record doing so. So this guy basically says, hey, I'm like the leader of this football broom sport team, and I heard that you were like amazing with brooms and flying, so we have to have you in the next match. And he keeps saying, but I can't actually fly in the broom. No, you'll do great. No, I can't do it though. You'll be fine. It'll be fine. And of course, then at the very end, all the people just fly up and start this broom, football, Quidditch, whatever it is, sport. And Mash just on the ground, it's like, but I told you people, I can't fly. I don't know what you want. And of course the audience starts booing him and everything. But those sort of moments, it's just so satisfying. So satisfying. We also do see Finn growing as a character. It wasn't too much depth to it in the episode, I felt, but the few moments they showed of Finn, because Finn was ordered by the Lloyd guy to destroy Mash's textbooks and other things because Mash had annoyed the Lloyd guy before, right? And everyone feared the Lloyd blonde guy except for Mash, basically. But Finn sort of stands up to the bully in the episode and says, no more, Mash has been so good to me, he's so kind to me, he said we were friends, I can't betray him and go behind his back anymore. And you do sort of see Finn, to an extent, adding some depth of character there, that he has a backbone, somewhat at least, and is willing to stand up for what he thinks is right, even if not at first. So that was a nice moment. I did quite like that. Decent character building. Very decent. This episode went great and well, and was beautiful and amazing. I loved it. MASHLE is probably the anime I am most excited for this season, or enjoying most so far. Keep in mind, I'm not watching everything yet. I have a lot to start watching, I have not yet done so, but I will start watching everything soon. But until then, this is probably the anime I'm enjoying the most right now. Hopefully you are too, watching this anime episode review. With that being said, I hope you will keep watching this show, as I will, and I hope you will keep watching my anime reviews as well of this show, because there's a ton of just fun things here I think we can all enjoy and talk about. If you did enjoy the video, or have any comments, or thoughts or anything, feel free to comment below any thoughts on the episode, or on the video, or anything else really that comes to your mind. A like, subscribe, hit on a notification bell, all these things are greatly appreciated as well. Something that I really, really greatly appreciate to grow this new channel. With all that being said, MASHLE is great, and I hope you watch more of it, and I will see you all next time.